Hello, Tim from Fairplay Now on the 6th of February 2024, and I've got some good news for you. Did you know, or do you realise, that the New World Order will never, ever work here in the UK at least, and I suspect many other countries as well actually. But let me tell you why I'm so optimistic and why I'm so happy to impart that happy news to you. Well, just imagine a new world order kind of society, social credit schools everywhere, surveillance state. Basically, I think the way it would work is if you've been a naughty boy or girl and your social credit score is down, you would basically be locked out of all sorts of places. There'd be barriers, a bit like those barriers that you get at railway stations. You put your ticket in and the barriers open. Well, that kind of thing will be everywhere. Entrances of theatres, entrances of supermarkets, certainly any medium and big size shop or outlet or concern, they'd be everywhere. And even once you go inside, say, a supermarket, all of the sort of shelves where you get your food from, well, you know how currently with the frozen bits, you've got those cabinets and you have to open the cabinet to get your frozen stuff out, which you can do freely at the moment. Well, everything would be behind glass cabinets like that, and it would have to you'd have to undergo face recognition, and if your social credit score is good, the cabinet would then unlock and you could get your food, whatever you'd like to have. But if your social credit score isn't good, the thing wouldn't open, and well, you'd have to go hungry, wouldn't you? And the same thing would go, you wouldn't be allowed to go onto buses, shops, pubs, theatres, anything, because the barriers just wouldn't open for you. Well, sort of going back to the reliability of the railways and those barriers, how often have you been going up to the railway ticket barrier, put your ticket in, something goes wrong, the barrier doesn't open, and then there's normally a bloke hovering around not too far away, and he just sort of puts his special pass thing on it and go, yeah, come through, mate, that's all right, kind of thing. I've had that loads, because those barriers aren't very reliable, and well, the railways generally aren't very reliable, and things in this country generally aren't very reliable. And if you're from the UK, I don't really need to tell you this. I'm sure you don't have to look too far back in your memory banks to think of the last time you came across inefficiency and unreliability, things not working. And that's just as we are now, how society is now. You just come across it all the time, don't you? So how on earth does anyone think that a new world order society with all of that automation, all of that kind of tech, it's not reliable stuff. It's not going to work, at least not here in this country. It might work in China, but there again, they've got 1 billion slave labourers, haven't they, on tap. Easy enough for them when you've got that amount of manpower. All you've got to do is if you're in charge, you just sort of get on the phone or whatever and sort of say, there's 2 cameras down in sector B, go and sort it out. And then within 2 hours, one of those 1 billion slave labourers will have been along there and sorted those 40 cameras or other bit of automation out. Well, in this country, 2 hours, yeah, right. 2 months more like, maybe even 2 years before anything like that would be sorted out. It's just an absolute joke how anyone can think that this kind of tech would ever work, certainly here in the UK. And then people go on about self-driving cars, taxis and that sort of thing. And how many people would actually get into a self-driving taxi, when you consider how unreliable Wi-Fi can be, how unreliable computers can be, they're always crashing, they're always playing up, aren't they? And, you know, would you really trust your life to the hands of an AI bot driving you down the motorway at 70 miles an hour? I don't think so, because the computer goes down, the signal gets lost for 30 seconds, and then next thing you know, the car's going, or the taxi's going all over the place, and bang, you know, you see you've crashed and you're dead. And it wouldn't need too many incidents like that, which will happen, of course, they will happen. And, you know, then people will be sort of put off altogether, and that'll be the end of self-driving taxis and self-driving cars. So it's sort of, it's just an absolute mockery, isn't it? But I hope you've kind of taken a little bit of heart from this, because up till now I've always thought the unreliability of this country, yeah, the amount of things that are always out of order. And when was the last time you went to a public toilet and one of the cubicles was out of order, or one of the sinks was out of order, and you had a little bit of black and yellow tape wrapped around the sink with a sign saying out of order? Again, I'm going to sort of bet that it wasn't too long ago that you last saw that. And yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain in the backside. But I think this kind of general thing that we suffer from here in the UK will actually be our salvation from the New World Order and social credit scores and this absolute nightmare. And that's before you even factor in the human element, people just not having any of it, and, you know, people just walking in, totally ignoring any barriers, jumping over them. Well, this barrier's not letting me in, I'm just going to jump over it. Or you might even have someone who's, you know, doesn't think much of the system either, and just lets you through with their passkey, just to sort of say, oh, sorry mate, the app on my phone's playing up. You know how unreliable these things are, don't you? You know, it's just not working on your thing. And then the guy goes, oh yeah, come in anyway, you know, because they're not going to want to lose a customer, are they? Just because your social credit score's down a little bit. You know, you've got a restaurateur there, or sort of a publican, shop owner, whatever it is. They're not going to want to lose a customer just because your social credit score's down a little bit, because you've been making naughty little videos like this, sort of having a go at the powers that shouldn't be and the New World Order. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I think the unreliability of all sorts of things in this country will be our saviour from the New World Order. And I think more and more people are waking up. Just another little thing to cheer you up a bit. I'm hearing more reports from people saying that normies, don't really like that term, but for want of a better term, the normies are waking up to all of this kind of thing now. They're getting fed up with AI and all of this kind of thing, all of this sort of facial recognition stuff they're trying to put into supermarkets without our permission. People out there, not just people like us, but as I say, normies, are starting to get fed up with it. This is feedback I'm hearing from people I'm in touch with, and yeah, it's not going to work. That is my message for today. And on that happy note, I'll leave it and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.